And what'd you learn about them from the first time around that will be key to playing them again?
I mean, obviously, they are similar in a lot of ways to Michigan State. So for our prep is, um, you know, uh, they're going to be physical, they're hard nosed, and they were plus 20 on the glass too. So Michigan State got us on the glass, and they did too. So really good basketball team, as you know. Chris does an unbelievable job. Liddell, their inside guys had career nights, so we obviously got to do a really good job on the backboards and being really physical. They're probably the most physical team in the league, and how they screen and how they play their defense. So we have to do a really good job of matching that. But again, another tough challenge in this league. They just keep coming. That's what I love about the league too. And that's you got to embrace that journey in this league, and we're getting ready to play one of the best programs in the conference, and they've already beaten us. So we got to really come ready, and hopefully we'll have 2 good days here of prep leading up to this.
We'll go to questions from Bobby and then Chris Kowalski.
Steve, with the cancellation next week, are you guys actively looking to replace that game against Penn State? And how are you kind of handling, that downtime?
I mean, I found that out like last night at 6:00, I don't. So we just got that information, and I've got a bunch of calls already, from places and places. So, Shoes is kind of working on that stuff. I'm trying to get ready for Ohio State, but again, didn't know any of that until the press release went out last night at 6:00. So we'll see. I mean, we got all our protocols. The other teams got to be able to they got to be, so a lot of hoops there, and I'm really more concerned with Ohio State right now. But West Coast teams called us, so we're getting calls. And again, who knows where they'll lead, but that'll be Shoes department.
All right, hey coach. I know you said that you guys haven't practiced yet, but what's the mood of the team been like this week since Michigan State?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully disappointed. Yeah, hopefully disappointed. But in this league, you get like quick bounce backs, and my guys good. They're good guys, and they work at it. They understand how we got to play in a league like this, and you could play really well and lose in a league like this. You got to play. You got to play really good basketball every time you take the court, and every team poses different problems. But tip of the hat, I mean, Michigan State was really good, and they are good. I mean, they're picked 4th in our preseason in our league, and that's a great program, obviously Hall of Fame coach. So we definitely have to play better when we're on the road against a program like that. So I hope our guys are disappointed, but I hope they also have short memories, because we got Ohio State who beat us already.
We'll go to Aaron Brightman and then Adam Jardy from the Columbus Dispatch.
I wanted to ask, in reviewing the film from Tuesday, your assessment of the offense in terms of how much you felt was kind of self-inflicted versus what Michigan State scored.
Yeah, I mean, quite honestly, I was more disappointed, in our defense. We missed free throws, we missed layups, but that happens during the course of a game. 45 to 46 or something. So our defense, we held them in the first half. We actually had 13 steals, which is the most we've ever had in a Big Ten game. We didn't convert any of those, and then when we did get fouled, obviously didn't make foul shots. But sometimes during the course of a year, you got to win a game, 46 to 44, and I thought we could do that in that basketball game, especially at halftime. We were only down a couple, and we didn't play well. You just have to figure out a way to grind that one out, and we didn't. So, obviously you make some shots that makes your life a little bit easier, but defense always tells you if you're going to win a game. Offense tells you by how much. So that was more important to me, was that, taking on that mentality, and we didn't.
Go ahead, Adam.
Hi, Steve. Thanks for the time here. You mentioned a minute ago that first Ohio State game and their physicality. That was such a game of swings where you guys had a big lead and they came swinging back. How much do you take from a game like that when you're trying to break down what happened and how that game transpired? Like, how do you break that down?
Yeah, you always. I mean, they're a real good basketball team. So you watch all the tapes. It's not just that one, but We had some really good moments too in that game, and the way the game was called, and then Jacob Young getting injured, it just had a lot of obstacles in that game, and the last 4 minutes didn't play out the way we needed them to. But again, Ohio State's good, and that's what these games come down to too. Sometimes it's a play here, it's a defensive stop, and we didn't get them when we needed to, and they did. And you learn from it, but they put new stuff in. They're playing some new guys more minutes. I mean, teams evolve as the year goes on. They change some of their sets. So, you can take a lot from that first tape, but, they're evolving too as a basketball program. Hopefully, we've added a couple more with Caleb and some pieces. We got to get better in some areas, and hopefully we will too. So hopefully we'll look different than when we played them 17 days ago.
And I didn't get a chance to ask you this after that game because obviously media stuff this year is just so much different. But after the game, Miles Johnson had a couple of tweets that have been deleted, but he talked about the referees and he talked about implying cheating on I'm not sure on whose part, but I just wonder how you addressed that with a player and I guess what you thought of that.
Yeah, I mean, we talked at length and, I think frustration, young student athlete, and we moved on. We talked a lot about it, and we moved on. It's not indicative of who he is. He had a bad moment and press send, and they're young and they're emotional, and we move forward. He's a great kid. He does all the right things, but it's an emotional game too. And when you press that button, you better not be emotional.
We'll go to Brian Fonseca and then Jerry Carino.
Steve, you mentioned the struggling in rebounding against Ohio State and Michigan State. It seems like the rebounding percentages are down throughout the season. Is there a concern there with rebounding, or is it something that you think you guys can kind of work through as the season goes on?
No, it's always concerns, not just with rebounding. Concerned with a lot of different. Our assists are going down lately too. We're playing better teams, obviously, and Michigan State is perennial. We've been one of the best rebound teams in the country, and so has Ohio State. So you got to do a great job in those games because if you don't, that's what they do. But we got to do a better job. We got to get more guys involved. It can't just be Miles. Obviously, having Cliff out as our second leading rebounder hasn't helped us, either. But Caleb will stick his nose in there, and Paul will too. We just got to make a concerted effort, doing a better job, and our guards got to dig some out too. So it's a team thing, and they're aware of it, and hopefully it's not a continuing issue, but it has been in some games, so it's something that you think about.
And just to be clear, you said you expect Gio to be fine. Do you expect him to play on Saturday?
Expect him to practice today, tomorrow, and play on Saturday. Yes. Hopefully, I'm right on that issue.
Thanks.
Steve, I got a bigger picture question for you. So far through Big Ten play, the home winning percentage is about the same as it was in years past last year. What do you think of that? Does that surprise you? Is there anything to that? Or, with no fans in the building, I thought it'd be different. I guess you don't.
Oh, no. It's all the programs you play. These are good teams. So fans really help, but they're really good teams, and they're really well coached. And you're always percentage-wise going to shoot better at home. But you'd love to have the fans there. It just brings the environment to a whole nother level. You don't have to generate your own energy every time. But these are really, good basketball programs. So no, that doesn't surprise me.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
We'll take one for Coach from Gideon Fox from the Targum.
Hey, Coach. I was just wondering if the team has discussed the events that happened yesterday in DC and if they found a balance between that and preparing for the game on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, we met last night till late. I found out at 6 o'clock about the Penn State situation, so I haven't, talked to him about that. And but I'm sure we'll have some conversations, moving forward. They're very, involved, and they're on those phones all day long. So I'm sure they'll have some opinions, but I haven't had any chance to really talk to them about that.
Thank you, Coach.
No problem.
I got time for one more. Do we have one from Brian Fonseca? Fine. If you're
Um,
not there,
I'm good.
You got
I'm
one?
sorry. No, I'm good.
All
I'm
right,
good.
well-
Thank you.
all right, we'll let Coach go to practice then. Thank you guys for the time
Okay.
today.
Guys, I appreciate you guys being on. Stay healthy. All right.
Thanks for joining us. Take care.
Appreciate it.